consistency of message as a leader in a business is actually, honestly, the foundation for everything that exists.
Yeah.
If you say something, it needs to be done. If you show up, it needs to be done. If your emotions are not in check and the message changes, you don't need to go into the office. If you're not in a place to deliver the same message, which is, we're great, let's go build something amazing, it's a kick-ass day. Period. End of story.
Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Welcome back, guys. We got Mr. Tolleson in the house. He's picking the topic this time. What are we talking about?
So we talked about leadership a while ago, and I want to go in on that angle from the message of being so repetitive in what we stand for and what we say that we almost get bored saying it.
Yeah, that's every day for me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I knew you'd like this one.
It's every day because I think that where the disconnect comes is that just because you are somewhere doesn't mean somebody else is somewhere. And when you don't realize that they are not, I'll give you a real life example. Only in the last 4 weeks, maybe 16 months in, do Ryan and I, my CEO, feel like we were making a difference. Like where attitudes and things are coming out of some of the guys and what they're saying, and you're like, wow. Like okay, hold on. We've been saying the same thing for 16 months. Why all of a sudden are you starting to realize how big we're talking? And why all of a sudden are you starting to get excited about how much we're growing?
Yeah.
Did you not believe me when I said it the first week I came here?
Dude, I told one of my clients, he's like, man, these guys who used to support me, I was on a group call with them, and then they were like, well, maybe you should refer that client somewhere else. I don't know if they're, and I told them, don't share your vision with people who lack the ability to see it. Just show it to them. Mm-hmm. Create the supporting evidence. And yeah, business is a game of lagging indicators. What you're saying about 16 months in the last 4 weeks. And it can be, as a leader, feel like we're beating our head against the wall. Because we're like, yeah, because you are. But sooner or later, that brick wall grows a crack in it. And then you beat it again soon, and then that crack starts to splinter, and then you beat it again, and then you throw a hole in the wall, and then you get your sledgehammer out and tear that bitch down.
Well, you know what? I just came to my mind when you said that.
Huh.
Okay, this is the perfect analogy. Just came up with it for the first time. This is the life of an owner or CEO of a small business. Are you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
You're the first one to hit the piñata. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. You're the one to hit the piñata, and it's solid as a rock. And then your sales guy or your tech, 16 months later, is the last guy to hit the piñata, and all the candy comes out, and everybody at the party thinks he's the one that did it.
Mm-hmm. Good.
That is small business ownership. You are going to get none of the credit and all of the blame because you cracked the wall first.
You know what, though? Like, as a leader, and like, I don't want the credit. I want everybody else to have the credit, because that removes the.
That's because you're an evolved leader. The number one issue in the trade space is that the leaders, because we're hiring them away from them, are the ones that want the credit. They want the fancy car.
Those leaders themselves up as an idol, right? But then they put themselves up, and here's this happened to me in my gym, and this is why I learned this. This is where I evolved in this. Is I put myself up as an idol, as the head coach, as the guy that knew all of it, and then I wasn't able to step away. So then when I did step away, and I wanted to go grow another business, so I wanted to let my coaches build, everybody, team members, coaches, members, they bought in less because the idol wasn't around. His energy went somewhere else.
I've always thought the guy that I envy the least, and I love analogies, is Aaron Franklin of Franklin Barbecue. Okay.
Mm.
So if you don't know the story, it's the number one barbecue in the country. He started out in a food truck with one brisket. Now they do 188 a day. And unfortunately, he's created where he is the guy that everybody wants to see. Yes, he has other people that work for him. Yes, they know the system. But now he's created his own prison.
Yeah.
And so what Conrad and I joke about is that we dreamed of creating a lifestyle business, and then the moment that we did it, now we're looking around and going, well, what the fuck do we do?
Story
So
of
now,
my life.
now
bro.
we got to start a business just to keep ourselves occupied because everybody's doing their job the right way. So the better you get, at leading, the less you get to do.
You know what though? Then we get to drive that purpose into other pieces. You know.
Yeah. That's what my buddy said. I went to dinner with him 2 days ago. They have 10 factories, 35 million a year. He doesn't get involved in anything. He's got a CEO who's my friend as well too. He goes, Austin, it's hard as fuck. It's so hard. He goes, but I'm working on what we're going to be building 5 years from now.
Yeah. And
So he just turns off his phone.
well,
He just turns off his phone and he doesn't respond to any emails. And he's like, it's really hard.
And to loop this back around to the consistency of message and lagging indicators, you and Ryan now have we have with Dietz, the first 16 months have paid off and people have seen the lagging indicators come around. So now, as opposed to like grumbling, like there could be in other organizations, like, oh, where's that Austin guy? What's he even do around here? It's like, no, look what's happened so far.
No, that's what that's what they say now. That's what they call me part-timer, snow leopard, and what I try to explain to them is I could be on the moon and I would still know what's going on. But here's the next evolution. And this is what I've been thinking about for almost weeks now. And I'm not there yet, so I need to understand it. I am a pulse guy. So yesterday I went to a job site. I watched my guys work with our biggest client. Like, I'm a pulse. I like to see the pulse. I like to see people's actions. I like to understand. So my question to you is, when I'm really removed, meaning no emails, I'm getting a report once a week, and I only look at dashboards, will I still be able to gauge the pulse because I'm a gut guy? We're not there, and we're years away from it, but that's going to be a weird thing for me. And I'm sure I'll grow into something more, and it'll be fine, and maybe I'll be on a beach somewhere, and it won't matter, or maybe it'll be on a mountain or running another business. But for people that are extremely visual, I'm a visual learner. That is kind of the evolution that I'm interested to see next in the coming years.
I'd imagine that your finger on the pulse will be on one or two key individuals as opposed to the whole company.
It's dude, it is so fucking hard, man. It feels like you're dropping your kids off at school for the first day of kindergarten. I've never done that before, but it's so hard. And Ryan always says the same thing to me. And it's such a great question. And I tell him the same thing. Should we be doing this? Should we be doing this? Is this something that, if we want to grow a company, should we be the ones doing this right now? And so what you're looking for in an employee is, can this person step in for me and carry the same integrity and values that I care about? That's all I'm asking for. If they can do that, I can teach everything else.
Yeah, and you might know as a leader that because you understand or you built the system or you were one of the first to revise it, that you may be a 9 or a 10 there. And if other companies have 5.5s and 6s, and you can train a 7.5 or an 8 to do the job, and it frees you up to go create more impact, that's a win.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that this can, and I'll rope it all around, the consistency of message as a leader in a business is actually, honestly, the foundation for everything that exists.
Yeah.
If you say something, it needs to be done. If you show up, it needs to be done. If your emotions are not in check and the message changes, you don't need to go into the office. If you're not in a place to deliver the same message, which is, we're great, let's go build something amazing, it's a kick-ass day, period. End of story. And then on the back of those three things, you ask a simple question that will change your entire company's life. And I would venture to guess that 99% of managers and owners do not do this. And here is the very complicated and very, very, you should go read 1,000 books. You should go pay $40,000 a month for a coach to understand this question. You ready for it? Okay. How are you? I know. Oh my God, it's so hard, right? And so here's my theory. You know why people don't ask that question as a leader? Because they don't even know how they are personally.
100%. And it's impossible to relate to people's answer if you're standing on the other side of the mountain and you can't see the path that they're traversing right now. And I was asked on a podcast one time, what's my favorite thing about coaching? And my reply was that if we are all through God, force, God, universe, whatever name people want to ascribe to it, if we are all that force embodied, and we're all seeing this experience through different pinholes, coaching gives me a little glimpse through each pinhole. Mm-hmm. And replace coaching with leadership. Effective leadership, you will slow down and you will meet somebody on their level and glimpse through their pinhole of perspective, so you can open your awareness and be able to more connect with everybody else.
And one of our secret weapons in our business, because she's amazing at it, is now the new rule is Cassie gets a one-on-one with the guys. And she rode with one of the guys because she had to drop us off the other day, and they just open up like a fucking flower to her, and she's getting the inside. And it's so great because it's not me. There's certain things that I can ask or do as an owner. I have to position myself in a certain way, and she looks at it coming from an entirely different way, just a human to human thing. And it's amazing how much I learn about them in that moment to help me be a better leader for them too. It's just amazing.
Yeah. It's awesome, dude.
Well, I love it, guys.
That's huge.
So if people want to find you or they want to hunt you down, how would they do that?
I'll find you. Instagram at coach_Chase_Tolleson.
So my buddy does big land deals in Texas, and he posted yesterday. He goes, it's very scary because most of these things have heir owners or people disappeared or they're in another country. He goes, it's amazing for $3,000 what I can find out about you. He goes, you'd be surprised that I can literally find, and I'm like, oh, you have no idea. Yeah, I'll find you. Well, hope you got some value from this, guys. We'll see you next time. Guys, let me take a minute to tell you about my buddies over at Lead Hub, Ben and Aaron, the best humans I know. Not only are they amazing at marketing for trade companies, but Ben started his HVAC company in his garage, sold it for multi-million dollars. So when this guy talks, I listen. When we took over Dietz Mechanical, we had 22 reviews in 22 years. In 7 short months, we went from 22 reviews to 107. We went from a 4.2 to a 4.7. We tripled our Facebook presence and we tripled our calls. If you're an HVAC, plumbing, electric, landscaping company, and you're looking for a no BS approach to marketing, you're looking for people who have done it before, you got to go to leadhub.net